is up, YouTube? We are going to go through our top 25 players after the Boston RLCS Major. Congrats, gentlemates, on the incredible tournament. Nas went off in the finals, well-deserved MVP. Without further ado, you know how it is. codyvrl makes these and we fill them out. So we are going to start at number 25 on our list. So at number 25 on my list, I have Wavy, formerly with Redacted, now with Virtus Pro. They had a tough group in Group B. I think Wavy performed fairly well based on his group. I didn't really think that they were going to do too much in this tournament. I did have them coming out, but I thought it was close between them and GK. So, Wavy is my number 25 ranked player. On to 24. With 24, we have LJ with Shopify Rebellion. Shopify making it into the top 6 was a big deal. Good for them, but I don't know if they are going to make it much further. LJ played really well on day 2, played kind of well on day 3, but they didn't do too much once they ran into some of the better teams. On to number 23, we have Yan. I think Furia wish that they had played a little better in groups. I thought that they had a chance of coming out of their group, but once again, they had a pretty tough group, and similar with Redacted, it just didn't go their way. So Yan is my number 23 ranked player. On to 22, we have apparently Jack with GK. I think GK surprised some people, obviously being the 5th seed from EU, and Appjack was a big reason why, along with my number 21 ranked player, Joyo. Joyo showed some of his individual mechanics out there. He was flying all over the field, doing things that people weren't used to seeing. So Joyo is my number 21 ranked player. On to my number 20 ranked player, and we have Two Piece, also with Redacted. Two Piece, I feel like he was Redacted's standout player in this tournament. He just keeps on getting better and better, and I'm excited to see what Redacted or Virtus Pro can do in future lands. So, on to number 19. We have First Killer with Shopify, always consistent. One of NA's greatest players that's never really won one of the major tournaments. And once again, once they got into the upper echelon competition, they just couldn't cut it anymore and ended up going out in top 6. So my 18th ranked player is TRK with Twisted Minds. Twisted Minds obviously was in the group of death. They did not get out, losing to Carmine and Vitality, 2 of the better teams in EU. I think TRK showed some of his individual prowess with what he did on day 2, scoring some of his goals. So TRK is number 18 for me. Number 17 for me is Stizzy with Vitality, obviously making it to the grand finals, and then losing there. But Stizzy played pretty well. Zen was the standout player for Vitality. I think everyone saw that coming. Exotic had a really good tournament as well, but you don't make grand finals without all 3 of your players playing very well. So Stizzy is number 17 for me. Number 16, and this may surprise some people, but Seiko for GK. I think Seiko is really starting to show his maturity and play some of the more simple Rocket League that you don't see very much, and there's still a place for it. So Seiko is number 16 on the list for me. Moving on into the top 15, I think Nobu, however you want to say it, is one of the most gifted players in Rocket League. However, For some reason, in 3v3 formats, he just doesn't excel. Twisted Minds has gone out quite early in a few of the tournaments recently, so moving him down the list from where I've had him previously, Nupo is 15 on the top players list for me. So 14, Juicy with K Corp. We have our first K Corp player. I think Viteria and Atau are just a slight level above Juicy. He still shows up on LAN. He's consistent. He makes K Corp competitive, but I don't know if he's necessarily what they were looking for in the replacement for Drawley. However, still a very good player. Top 14. On to 13, and this is going to shock some people, but Exotic, I thought, had a really, really good LAN. He was demoing. He was forcing plays in the offensive zone, forcing double commits, setting up his teammates off the back wall. I thought he was actually a very nice Robin to Zen's Batman. So Exotic is number 13 for me. Number 12. First Gentlemates player off the board, Archie at number 12. If you watch a lot of their games, I feel like Nas and Oski were really just firing on all cylinders, and Archie just had to make a couple saves or put the ball in a couple empty nets. He even said so in his interview after the championship match. So Archie is number 12. Moving on to 11, and we have our first NRG player here, Atomic. NRG had a pretty good tournament, got knocked out in the semifinals. Can't say much more. They showed their class. Unfortunately, it just wasn't their tournament. And Atomic is my number 11th ranked player after the major. Into the top 10, we have Clears. First Falcons player off the board. I think NRG and Falcons were kind of close to the same level in this tournament, and I just had Clears just ahead of Atomic. We'll see where the rest of NRG and the Falcons fall. But on to the number 9, Atau. It was his birthday yesterday on Championship Sunday. Unfortunately, didn't work out for him, so that's always a bummer on your birthday. But Atau coming in at number 9. He's very mechanical, very gifted. For some reason, I just didn't feel like he was on his A game at this major. Maybe it was something to do with Gentlemates stepping up or losing a game in groups. I'm not sure, but he just didn't seem to have his top level. So Atau is number 9. And right above him, I have his teammate Vatira. I think these two are really good players. Vatira, one of the best Rocket League players of all time, probably top 10. Just consistently one of the top teams in the world. Unfortunately, in this major, just wasn't one of the 2 top teams. So Vatira and Atau are 8 and 9. Now, let's go back there. I guess that just kind of leaked that, but we have Drawley at 7. I think Drawley is a very good player. I don't know if he just meshed more with Vatira and Atau when he was on K Corp, but it seems like there's some sort of play style disconnect between him and the twins. We'll see if they get it figured out moving forward in the year. I mean, they're still playing fairly well, but I think they have another level that they can reach. So Drawley is number 7. And we have the last member of Falcons as number 6 on the board here. I don't know what to say here. Ross, one of the best defenders in the world. He scored some goals, a lot of goals throughout the tournament. Was keeping Falcons in certain series and then eventually turned the tide in certain series. I think Rawas right now is their strongest player. So let's move on to number 5. And we have Beast Mode from NRG. What can you say about Beast Mode? Pre-jumping everything, trying to hit bumps, demos, whatever it takes for his team to win. Consistently one of the best players in the last couple of years, and I think top 5 is well deserved. So let's go to number 4. And there was a problem. Well, I think everyone saw it. I have Oski as my 4th player in the world right now. He was incredible in this LAN. He showed how fast he is. He showed his mental capabilities in terms of trying to outthink his opponent, pre-jump where they're gonna send the ball. Oski was really on another level in terms of just outshining his competition. So Oski is my number 4 player in the world right now. Number 3, 2, and 1. There's only 3 players left. Which order are they going to be? Well, we have Daniel coming in at number 3. I think Daniel is NRG's best player. He shows it time and time again. Consistently kept them in series, scored multiple goals that were crucial, made multiple saves that were crucial. He just is such a good, consistent, well-rounded player. Got to put him at number 3. And without further ado, I got Zen as my number 2 player and Nas as my number 1 player in the world right now. I mean, you saw it in the grand finals. Nas it's almost like he was playing a different game. Set the record for most goals in a grand final ever. It was his first grand final, first major. He did not look bothered. He looked like he welcomed the atmosphere. He looked like he wanted all the smoke, and he dealt with all the smoke, inhaled, exhaled, and said, bring on another. So Nas is my number 1 ranked player in the world after the Rocket League Boston Major 2026. If you think differently, let me know what you think in the comments, and we will see you in the next one.